Hi sweets, I hope you're having a great start of the week and also a beginning of April and that you had a good April Fools yesterday. So for today's video, I'm going to use a couple of new things for me, not new as a launching. And the first one that I wanted to bring to your attention is that I finally made my mind to buy the Dream Street palette from Colourpop. This is in collaboration with Caitlin Lights. And I have two of the infallible Pro Matte liquid lipstick. This is the Less Chocolate collection. I will try to match it up with the eye look. If not, I'm gonna go with another lipstick. And I also bought this CoverGirl Trueblend Serving Sculpture Palette. I have already featured another one in one of my videos. I will try to look for that one and link that video below. But I really like this formula from CoverGirl and I bought it. 3 new products and I'm sure that I'm gonna use 2 of them, the liquid lipstick. We will see if I could make them work with what I have in mind to use the palette. So I'm gonna breeze through the complexion part because I think I'm gonna do a cut crease, not a different, I think a little bit of a colorful cut crease, and it's gonna take a little bit of time. Without any further ado, let's just jump to the tutorial. I'm gonna start by prepping my face and I'm gonna use my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base. Now I'm gonna use my Physicians Formula ID Popping, and I'm gonna use my Dr. Brandt Illuminating Primer. For foundation, I'm gonna go with my Rimmel London Lasting Finish 24 Hour with Comfort Serum. This is in the shade 200, and I'm going to apply it with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I'm going to color correct a little bit in my inner corners. So I'm gonna use my Algenist Reveal Color Correcting Eye Serum Brightener. I'm gonna dot it a little bit in the area where I am desperately in the need of it. And with the pointy end of my sponge, I'm gonna start blending it. For concealer, I'm gonna go with my Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. This is in the shade 20, like beige. I'm gonna dot where I'm in the need of it. Now I'm gonna set my concealer and I'm gonna use my Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. For the rest of my complexion, I'm gonna set it with this CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. This is in the shade 725, Buff Beige. My complexion is halfway through, so now I'm gonna go to the CoverGirl Trueblend Serving Sculpt palette. This is in the shades Rose Nights. And first, I'm gonna go to the bronzer. This is a really warm bronzer, and I'm gonna use the same brush that I was using previously. Now I'm gonna go for the blush, and I'm gonna use the same brush. And for highlighter, I'm gonna use the one in the palette, and I'm using this Luxie 522 brush to apply it, first of all in my cheeks, and then I'm gonna go for the other high points of my face. Now I'm gonna go for brows. In my brows, I'm gonna use my iconic London Sculpt and Boost Eyebrow Cushion. This is in the shade Medium. Now I'm gonna go for my eye look, and as always, I'm gonna prime my eyelid. I'm gonna use my Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm gonna start with my lash line, working my way through my eyelid towards my brow bone. Now, I'm gonna go for the part that I was most excited about using the eyeshadow palette. This is the uni card, and this is the palette itself. And this is how she is in the inside. It's kind of a warm tone with a little bit of a neutrals in it, but I really like this palette. It has 2 shades that I'm really curious about, Kaleidoscope and Mermaid Beige. Now we're gonna start with the eye look, and I think I'm gonna start with Water Barrier. This kind of a teal shade. That is a matte shade, and as always, the matte shades have a little bit of a kickback in the pan. So make sure to tap the excess of it. And now I'm gonna start by applying this a little bit higher than my natural crease. I think I'm gonna go with a cut crease, so I'm gonna mark first where I'm gonna place this eyeshadow. I have been taking from the pan, tapping the excess, and then just pressing the pigment in the area where I have decided that it would go. Now I'm going to use this Vasanti Contour Eyeshadow in number 4 to start blending this shade. I'm taking my brush from the ending part of the handle to soften it my circular strokes. This will help blend the shade. I'm softening first the edge, and then I'm going to go on top of it with another eyeshadow. Again, I'm repeating the process in circular motions all over the edge. Now that we have that blended, I'm gonna go to this shade named Shooting Star with the same brush. This is a matte shade, so we will have a little bit of a kickback in the pan. And this one, I'm gonna place it really near the edge where we have already blended Water Barrier. And in circular motions, I'm working my way a little bit on top of Water Barrier and the edge of it. Now I'm ready to cut my crease, and I'm gonna use the same concealer that I used, the Catrice one. I'm taking a little bit of it in the back of my hand, and I'm going to use my Alamar Cosmetics Ojitos Set Volume 1, which is this flat application brush. Now we're gonna go for the really fun and most difficult part of the entire look. First of all, I'm starting by stamping my concealer. I'm stamping my concealer. I'm starting to clean the edges a little bit. Now I'm gonna do the tail of my cut crease, and I have to do it a little bit higher since I have hooded eyes. Now I'm going to apply concealer all over my lid, making sure that everything is well blended. And I'm using my ring finger for it. And now I'm gonna use this oval concealer brush from Crown Brushes, and I'm gonna go to the shade Kaleidoscope. I'm starting in my inner corner. I'm tapping this shade into my lid, all over where I have placed my concealer. I have been really curious about 3 shades. Mermaid Beige, the one that I use, Water Barrier, and the other one is this really nice coral shade named Spark. I think that one, I'm gonna use it in my bottom lashes. Also, this is another matte shade, so you have to tap the excess of your brush before applying it. And I'm gonna go all over my bottom lashes. I'm doing kind of I don't know, kind of a liner, extending it from my bottom lashes towards my top part. And so far, I'm really digging it. So I'm going to pronounce it a little bit to give it a little bit more of a crisp and sharp ending. Finish up the look. I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna go with Moony first in my arch and in my inner corner, and I'm going to intensify it with the same highlighter that I'm wearing in my face. It is a really nice shade, but it isn't showing as much because of the colors that I have chose for my eye look. And I'm gonna take a little bit from the CoverGirl palette, specifically from the highlighter. that has sparkles and shimmers and whatever it is that it has. The eye look is done, and so far I'm getting used to the idea of it because I have used shades that I would normally wouldn't wear on myself, especially the teal one, but I'm in the process of getting used to it, but so far I like my eyes how they are looking. So for lips, I have the two choices that I told you about in the beginning. Both of them are from L'Oreal Les Chocolate Scented Collection, and one is in the shade Sweet Tooth and the other one is in the shade Dose of Cocoa. The border of my lips, I'm gonna do it with a Dose of Cocoa. I really like the doe foot applicator of this lipsticks or liquid lipsticks. First of all, I'm gonna start with my Cupid's bow. Now I'm gonna do the sides. Now I'm gonna do the same thing in my bottom. First the center, and now I'm gonna do the sides. And now I'm gonna use Sweet Tooth. I think it is too pale for what I did. I'm gonna top it off with a gloss that has a little bit of more color, and I think I'm gonna go with my new Anastasia Beverly Hills. Let me just look for that. I'm gonna use this Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Saint Tropez. I think it would give me a little bit of the color that I'm desperately in need in these lips. Well, I think that is a little bit better for what I had before. And to finish up and set everything in place, I'm gonna go with my Colourpop All Star Setting Spray. So sweets, this is it. This is the final look. I really like my eye look. It's kind of different for me because usually I don't go for these shades. I could use the one in the bottom, but the mix of the two in my eye look, this is kind of a new thing. The lip, let's say this. I like the shades, but I don't like how they look on myself because I look like my lips are the same thing as my skin, and usually I like something, I like nudes, but I like nudes that show a little bit more than what these two look like. It's kind of a strange and difficult to describe because I apply them and I like them, but I don't know if it is because of the eye look that I needed a little bit of more color in my lips. Maybe that's it, and I will try them with some other eye look instead of the one that I have today. And probably and hopefully I would like them better, but still they smell wonderfully, and it brought the memory of a chocolate cookie that I really like that has a little bit of coconut mix in it. The CoverGirl Trueblend, this is a really good product. If you got the chance to grab it, do it because you have a really nice bronzer, you have a highlighter, and you have a blush. So you have 3 products in one. And I think this retails for less than $10. So it is a really good product to have because, as I said, you have 3 in 1. Also, the Dream Street palette, I really liked it. I'm looking forward to do more looks with it. This is a different color story. This isn't a new palette. This has been in the market, I think, for more than a year, almost 2 years if I'm not mistaken. So overall, I really like everything that I tried for today's look. I hope you do as well. And if you did, press the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate it. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a video, press the notifications bell. And I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye.